Welcome to Global Health and Wellness Practitioners YouTube channel, where we're giving exposure and connecting great practitioners while educating and promoting comprehensive health and wellness globally. This channel is beneficial for practitioners as well as anyone who wants to gain more knowledge to make more educated, well-informed, and intuitive decisions regarding their own health and wellness, essentially placing the sovereignty back into the individual's hands. In this video, I've asked different practitioners to set the tone and explain the importance of compassion, integrity, and ethics in health and wellness care, from Western medicine to all modalities that support individuals' minds, bodies, and souls.
I'm an endocrine surgeon, and I just want to say how important the concepts of compassion and integrity and ethics are in the field of medicine. Compassion, anytime we're taking care of patients, it's extremely important to put ourselves in their position. That's hard to do because in general, we as providers are well and patients are not necessarily well. That's why they're seeing us. So being able to put yourself into their position can really help you understand how to truly meet their needs and help them to move forward in their journey toward wellness. Integrity and ethics really go hand in hand. It should be self-evident that these should be at the core of who we are as practitioners, but I don't think that's always true in this day and age. Sometimes we allow financial pressures or issues like prestige to cloud our judgment. But to have integrity and ethics at the very front of our minds is really critical to what we do each and every day.
Hello, my name is Calvin Young, and I'm a community health worker at Intercommunity Healthcare here in Hartford, Connecticut, and I'm also a certified sound healer. Now, I believe it's important to practice the healing arts from a place of compassion and integrity, because people are looking for other ways to heal, or other addition ways to heal if they're using the traditional medical practice. And it's important for us to come from a place of compassion and meeting people where they're at, and having that sense of integrity within us that develops the compassion, the love, the joy, the empathy that dwells inside of coming from a place of integrity. So you're able to share that love, you can share that compassion, you can share that empathy with the people that we're working with, and meeting them where they're at, and really supporting them on their healing journey of recovery for whatever they're recovering from. So coming from a place of compassion, having integrity in your work and your work ethic and the quality of services that you offer to people in your community is very, very important. So I encourage people that's working in the healing arts to come from a place of compassion, come from a place of love, from empathy, and really understand that people are dealing with some very intense times and may have other what we call maladaptive ways of dealing with that distress. But when you come from a place of compassion, you can look past the mask, you can look past the so-called negative behaviors that somebody might be portraying, and see the true essence of who they are. And I believe that true essence is the unconditional agape love. So the love that dwells within me can connect to the love that dwells in the other people that we're working with. We could build that bond, we could build that connection, and we could work from a place of healing from that loving space.
Hello, I'm Jaya Daptardar, an Ayurvedic doctor, entrepreneur, healthcare executive, a writer of books, blogs, and I wear many hats. Working in this healthcare field for more than 25 years, I would like to say that it is a very important concept of integrity, compassion, and ethics in this field of health and wellness. It is a hard thing to do. We help patients who are not feeling well. They come to us, they trust us. it is important to help with compassion. It is difficult sometimes because healthcare is policy driven, but do the right thing for your heart.
My name is Greg Besson, and I'm a physical therapist of over 20 years. The concepts of compassion, integrity, and ethics are instrumental characteristics in the healing arts. I feel that these are true core values that are ingrained in me and many others. As a healer, you would think that being compassionate and healing go hand in hand, but that's not necessarily the case. I think that some of the best healers, they have being compassionate as a core trait. There are many other traits in the non-physical part of healing that make someone stand out as an excellent healer, such as the ability to effectively communicate and educate. Being compassionate, I believe, helps the healer connect with the patient on a different level. And it's one of the many things that helps to build trust with that patient. Having a strong connection with the patient and clearly communicating things such as prognosis and diagnosis and self-management techniques puts the patient in an excellent starting position to foster healing. When talking about integrity and ethics, it's really all about being disciplined, holding to your core values, following a moral code, and avoiding corruption and immoral acts. For the healthcare industry, high integrity and having strong moral ethics are important staples because of the trust that the patient is putting in the practitioner's hands. There's a high level of trust needed when treating the patient, and sometimes through invasive techniques. In the physical therapy field, sometimes this trust and belief is extremely important because the patient needs to be progressed through pain in order to fully heal. A strong relationship built on trust and communication helps to facilitate that patient healing. Having high integrity, strong moral ethics, and being compassionate is the framework for building that relationship.
Hi, this is Dr. D, New Global Shaman, Shaman at Large, and this is my take on spiritual ethics. If we're going to get serious about the ethics of spirituality right now, we have to recognize that we're in crisis, but also in crossroads. And all the work we've been doing until now has led us to this place. And it doesn't really matter what tradition you're in or what kind of tradition you practice. We have to recognize that at some point, some of the things that we are carrying forward are obsolete and don't actually fit into the larger scope of where humanity is right now. I think the biggest obstacle to overcome is the necessity to move from self to service. We've been, engaged with understanding the self and how the self is and how the self works and all of those mechanisms since the Enlightenment. And I have to say, the product of that is what we see today in the world. We see, the rise of addiction. We see the rise of inequity. There's definitely a lot of othering and power dynamics. We live in an unwell world because of our inability to move beyond the self and to actually see our collective humanity. And I think that's the biggest direction we need to push ourselves into is to recognize not just our humanity in its beautiful, aesthetically perfect state, because that's also a trap. We have to recognize that human beings are here just like any other species on the planet to muck around and create the reality that we live in a way that moves us forward. So our spiritual development should be around developing concepts, ideas, ideologies that bring us together, that foster and cultivate communication and community and collaboration and cooperation. And until we actually address those issues, we're going to continue to be polarized. We're going to continue to allow the ones in power to dictate our moral compass. And to me, that is the biggest issue we have to collectively, move to change.
Let this be a true testament that despite our differences, that when we have the same mission, we can come together.